Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how to crochet this lacy baby cardigan. So this cardigan can be made in a number of different sizes, and for all of the information on how to make the different sizes, please see the description box below. So thank you very much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos. So to begin your cardigan, you want to start off by making a slip knot. So to do a slip knot, take your yarn and take your finger and wrap the yarn around your finger once and then twice. Then take the first loop and pull it over the second loop, and then take the second loop and pull it all the way over your finger. You then want to take your crochet hook, so take your hook, go in through this space and pull tight, and there you have a slip knot. And now once you have your slip knot, we are now going to make our foundation chain. And for our foundation chain, we are going to chain 55. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 55. So I have just finished making my foundation chain of 55, and now we are ready to move on to round 1 of our cardigan. So we are now on to round 1, and this round is a simple round of double crochet. So we're just going to do 1 double crochet into every single chain, and we're going to do our first double crochet into the second chain from the hook. So here is the first chain from the hook, and here is the second chain, and into this chain we're going to do our first double crochet. So to do a double crochet, yarn over and go down into this chain, the second chain from the hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the final 2 loops on your hook. So there we have 1 double crochet into that chain, and now yarn over and go into the next chain and do the same thing into this one, 1 double crochet, then yarn over and go into the next chain and do a double crochet into this one as well, and just keep doing that all the way along, 1 double crochet into each and every chain. So I have just finished doing that all the way along for round 1, and at the end of this round you should find that you have 54 double crochets. So you should have 54 double crochets at the end of this round, and now we are ready to move on to round 2. So to begin round 2, you want to chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So to start off this round, we're going to go down into the very first stitch here, as our chain 1 does not count as a stitch, and work 1 double crochet. So yarn over and go down into this very first stitch and do 1 double crochet. And now you want to yarn over and go into the next stitch and do 1 double crochet into this one as well. But now into the next stitch, so the third one along, we're going to do 2 double crochets, so 2 both into this stitch. So go into the stitch and do 1 double crochet, and then yarn over and go back down into the same stitch and do a second one. So there we have 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and we're going to repeat this all the way along for round 2. Into the next stitch we're going to do 1 double crochet, Then we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next one, but then into the next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets. Then we're going to do 1 into the next, 1 into the next, 2 into the next, 1 1 2 1 1 2 all the way along. So yarn over and go into the next stitch and do 1 double crochet, then do 1 double crochet into the next one, but then into the next stitch do 2 double crochets, both into this stitch, like that, and just continue to repeat this all the way along. So I have just finished working that all the way along for round 2. So I have done 2 double crochets into this very last stitch at the end, and you should find that you have 72 double crochets at the end of round 2. And now we are ready to move on to round 3. So to begin this round, chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So in round 3, we are going to do 1 double crochet into each of the first 3 stitches. So we're going to do 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, but then 2 double crochets both into the next stitch. So 2 there. And we're just going to repeat that all the way along. We're going to do 1 1 1 2 1 1 1 2. So we have chained 1 and turned. Now we're going to go down into this first stitch here and do 1 double crochet. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next stitch and 1 double crochet into the third one along. So there we have 3 double crochets, 1 into each stitch. And now into the next stitch we are going to do 2 double crochets, both into this one. And now we're going to repeat that again. Do 3 more double crochets, 1 into each stitch. Like that. And now do 2 double crochets, both into the next stitch. And just repeat that all the way along for round 3. 1 1 1 2 1 1 1 2. So I have just finished working that all the way along for round 3. So I have done 2 double crochets into this last stitch at the end, and at the end of round 3 you should have 90 double crochets. And if you do, we are ready to move on to round 4. So to begin this round, chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now round 4 follows the same pattern, but in this round we're going to do 1 double crochet into 4 stitches and then 2 double crochets both into the next stitch, and we're going to keep repeating that all the way along. So we're going to do 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 1 1 1 2, 1 1 1 1 2 all the way along. So yarn over and go down into the very first stitch and do 1 double crochet, then do 1 into the second stitch along and the third stitch and then the fourth, like that. But now into the next stitch do 2 double crochets. So go into this stitch and do 2 double crochets. And just continue to repeat that all the way along for round 4. 4 double crochets, 1 into each stitch, then 2 double crochets both into the next stitch. So I have just finished working that all the way along for round 4, and at the end of this round you should have 108 double crochets. And now we're ready to move on to round 5. So to begin round 5, chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 never counts as a stitch. So round 5 follows the same pattern again, but in this round we're going to do 1 double crochet into each of the first 5 stitches, then 2 double crochets both into the next one. So I'm going to do 5 double crochets, 1 into each stitch. Like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets, and now into the next stitch do 2 double crochets both into this stitch, like that. And just continue this all the way along. We're going to do 5 more double crochets, 1 into each stitch. Like that, and then 2 double crochets both into the next stitch. And just continue this for round 5, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2. So I have come to the end of round 5, and I have done 2 double crochets into this last stitch at the end. And at the end of this round you should have 126 double crochets. And now we're ready to move on to round 6. So to begin this round, chain 1 and turn, and round 6 follows the same pattern again, but in this round we're going to do 6 double crochets, 1 into each stitch, then 2 double crochets both into the next stitch, then 6 more double crochets, 1 into each stitch, then 2 double crochets both into the next stitch all the way along. So we're doing 6, 2, 6, 2 all the way along for round 6. So start off by doing 6 double crochets, 1 into each stitch. Like that. There I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now into the next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets. So 2 both into this next one. And just continue that all the way around. 6, 2, 6, 2, 6, 2. So I have finished going all the way along for round 6, and at the end of this round you should have 144 double crochets, and I would recommend that you just quickly go back and check that you have 144, as this is our last increase round, and if you do, we're ready to move on to round 7. So we are now on to round 7 of our cardigan, and to begin this round, chain 1 and turn. And now round 7 is a very simple round. We are just going to do 1 double crochet into every single stitch along. So yarn over and go down into the first stitch and do 1 double crochet, then do 1 into the next one, and 1 into the next, and just continue this all the way along. 1 double crochet into each and every stitch. stitch. And you should find that at the end of this round, you have 144. So we are not increasing anymore. You should have the same number of double crochets at the end of round 7 as you did at the end of round 6, 144. So I have just finished working that all the way around for round 7, and at the end of this round, this is what you should have, and I would recommend that you go back and double check that you have the right number of stitches, so 144, as round 8 is a really important round and you need to make sure that you have the right number of stitches. So go back and check, and once you have done that, we're ready to move on to round 8. So we are now on to round 8, and in this round we are going to turn our big loop which we have here into a cardigan shape. So to do that, you want to work along a certain number of stitches for the first half of the front of the cardigan, then skip a certain number of stitches for the first armhole, then work along a certain number of stitches for the back, skip another number of stitches for the next armhole, and then work along another number of stitches for the other half of the front. And that is how we are going to create the shape in round 8. So we're going to be adding in a front, a back, and 2 armholes. So to begin this round, you want to chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. And now to start off, we are going to do 23 double crochets, or 1 double crochet into each of the first 23 stitches. So go down into this first stitch and do 1 double crochet, then do 1 into the next stitch, and 1 into the next, and keep doing this until you have 23. So there I have done those 23 double crochets, and this is the first half of the front of our cardigan. And now we're ready to move on to the first armhole, and for this armhole we are simply going to skip 26 stitches. So count 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way up to 26. So here is my 26th stitch, and we are going to skip this one and then into the next stitch. So this would be the 27th one along. We're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, skip the 26th stitch and go into the 27th one, and kind of pull your work together and work 1 double crochet, and this will form our first armhole like that. And now we are ready to move on to the back, and you might want to just go back and double check that you did skip 26 stitches. And then once you have done that, we can move on to the back. So the back of our cardigan is 46 stitches long, so we need to do 46 double crochets, and this double crochet which we just did here is the first double crochet at the back. So we have 1, so we need to do 45 more, or 46 in total. So do 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and 1 into the next one, and 1 into the next, and keep going until you have 46. So I have finished doing those 46 double crochets, and there we have the back finished. And now we can move on to the next armhole, and this armhole is made in the exact same way as the other one. You just need to skip 26 stitches. So count 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way up to 26. So here is my 26th stitch, and I'm going to skip this one, yarn over, and go into the next stitch. So this would be the 27th one along, and work a double crochet. and there we have our next armhole. And now to finish off this round, we're just going to do double crochets, one into each stitch until you get to the end. And this is going to form the other half of the front, and you should find that this is 23 stitches or 23 double crochets. So just continue this all the way along. So I have just finished round 8, and you can see that we have the shape of our cardigan. And now we're ready to move on to round 9. Now on to round 9, and in this round we are going to be starting our pretty stitch which goes along the bottom of the cardigan. So to start off, you want to chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. And now we are going to go down into this very first stitch and do 1 double crochet. So yarn over, go down into the first stitch and do a double crochet. And now you want to chain 1, so chain 1 and skip the next 2 stitches. So skip 1 and 2. And then into the next stitch here, we are going to do our first V. And when we do a V, we do a double crochet, then chain 3 and then another double crochet all into the same stitch. So yarn over, go into the next stitch here, so make sure you skip those 2 stitches, go into the next one and do double crochet, chain 1, 2, 3, and then another double crochet back down into the same stitch, and that creates our first V like that. And now you want to chain 1, so chain 1, and we are now going to skip 4 stitches, so skip 1, 2, 3, 4. And then into the next stitch we're going to do another V. So yarn over, go down into this stitch and do double crochet, chain 3, double crochet back down into this stitch, then chain 1 again and skip 4 more stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to continue to repeat this all the way around. We're going to do a V into 1 stitch, so that's double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, then chain 1 and skip 4 stitches. Then repeat that again. Do a V, chain 1, skip 4 stitches, V, chain 1, skip 4 stitches, all the way along. So we have done a V, chain 1 and skipped 1, 2, 3, 4. So now do a V into the next stitch, and when you do a V you do double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and now chain 1 and skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and just continue this all the way along. So I am just coming to the end of round 9. So I have done my last V here, and now you want to chain 1, skip the next 2 stitches, and then at the very end in the last stitch do a final double crochet. And now we're ready to move on to round 10. So to begin round 10, chain 1 and turn, and this does not count as a stitch. And now you want to go down into this first double crochet here and do a double crochet. So yarn over and go down into this first double crochet and do 1 double crochet. And now you want to skip on to the first V here, so in the chains between the V, and into this space we are going to do 7 double crochets. So yarn over, move on to the first V, go in the middle of the V and do 1 double crochet, then do a second one and a third, and keep doing this until you have 7. Like that. And now you want to skip on to the next V here, and just like we just did, go in the middle of this V and do 7 double crochets. So yarn over, go to the next V, go in the middle of this V and do 7 double crochets. So like that. So there I have 7 into that chain or into that V. And now we're going to yarn over and move on to the next V and go in the middle here, and just as we just did, do 7 double crochets into this V as well. And you want to repeat this all the way around for round 10 into every single V. So here, 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 do 7 double crochets. So you're doing 7 double crochets into every single V for round 10. So I have just finished working that all the way along for round 10. So I have done 7 double crochets into every single shell along, and you can see that that gives us this really pretty pattern. So I have done 7 double crochets into this last V, and now to finish off the round, we are going to do one last double crochet into this last stitch at the end. So yarn over, go down into this last stitch and work your last double crochet. And now we're ready to move on to round 11. So we are now on to round 11, and to begin this round you want to chain 1 and turn, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So now to start off, we're going to go down into this first stitch here and work a double crochet. So yarn over and go down into this first stitch and work 1 double crochet. Like that. And now you want to chain 1, and then we're going to move on to our first shell here. So the first set of 7 double crochets from last round, so it forms these little shells. So we're going to go to our first shell, and we're going to go into the middle of this shell. So that is the 4th double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4, and into this double crochet we are going to do a V. So just like we did down here, to do a V you do double crochet, chain 3 double crochet all into the same stitch. So go to the first, second, third and fourth double crochet, yarn over, go into this stitch and do double crochet, chain 1, 2, 3 and then a second double crochet back down into the same stitch. So form a V like that. And now we are going to chain 1, and then you want to move on to the next shell here. So go to the next shell, and just like we just did, go to the middle of this shell, so the 4th double crochet, and do another V. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 right in the middle, and do double crochet, chain 3 double crochet all into this stitch. So like that. And now you want to chain 1, and we're going to repeat that all the way around for round 11. So we're going to do a V into the middle of the next shell and then chain 1, then do a V into the middle of the next shell and chain 1 all the way along. So we're doing double crochet, chain 3 double crochet, then chain 1 all the way around. So yarn over, go to the first, second, third and fourth double crochet of the next shell, go into this stitch and do a V, then chain 1 and just continue this all the way around. So I am just coming to the end of round 11. So I have done my last V into this last shell here, and now to finish off we're going to chain 1 and then work a final double crochet into this last stitch at the very end. So go down into this last stitch and work one last double crochet. So there we have done round 11 and we're ready to move on to the next round. We are now on to round 12 and the rest of our cardigan is very simple. We are just going to repeat the last 2 rounds that we just did, so rounds 10 and 11, again and again and again until you feel that your cardigan is long enough. So we have just finished round 11, so now we're going to do round 10 again, then round 11, then round 10, 11, 10, 11 and keep going until you have the length that you want. And you want to finish off on a round 10. So for round 10, you chain 1 and turn, then do 1 double crochet down into the first stitch, and then you just want to do 7 double crochets, so work your little shells here into every single V. So you'll do 7 double crochets here and here and here and here, all the way around, finishing off with a double crochet into the last stitch at the end. And then for round 11, that is our round with the V's, the round that we just did. So you chain 1 and turn, do a double crochet down into the very first stitch, then chain 1, and then you just want to do your V's, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the middle of the shells, and then chain 1 in between each V. So you can go back in the video and re-watch those rounds as many times as you need to, or you may be able to remember them. They are pretty easy to do, but just keep repeating those last 2 rounds, 10 and 11, until you have the length that you want. So I have finished working all of those rounds, so you can see I have finished my cardigan. So I went all the way to the bottom until I had the perfect length, and then I fastened off, so pulled my yarn out and my hook and cut my yarn, leaving a tail to weave in later. And then I went ahead and added some little buttons up the top here, and then I added some little loops just by doing chains to make button loops. So I attached my yarn into the top stitch, chained 5 and then made a slip stitch into the next stitch, and I did that twice, then weaved the end in to create 2 little button loops, but you could just use the stitches on the opposite side as buttonholes. And then once you have done that, you want to weave all of your ends into the inside, and we have finished. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it easy to follow. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more crochet videos, and in the description box below this video I will leave a link to where you can find my Twitter account. So if you would like to go and follow me on there, I always like to post updates and pictures of upcoming tutorials, and I would love to see photos of your crochet work on Twitter as well. And in the description box I will also leave a link to where you can find some of my written patterns if you are interested. And thank you again for watching. Bye!